In this video, we're going to be setting up Replit. So I'm on the Google homepage, and then if I type Replit, I'm going to see it's a collaborative browser-based IDE. It's where we're going to be writing our code. So we can click on the link, and we're going to come to this page. It's the landing page. So Replit, make something great, build software collaboratively with the power of AI on any device without spending a second on setup. We're using Replit because it's quite difficult to set up FFmpeg on different devices. We're going to use it because we're all going to be working in the same environment. So Replit is an online IDE, and it runs a version of Linux called Nix OS. So Nix OS is a Linux distribution built on top of the Nix package manager. Nix works perfect for Replit because they handle lots of different programming languages, and Nix comes with a package manager. So we can click on it and see Nix. This is the version of Linux that Replit uses, and we have our package manager. So if you go here to packages, you can see we're able to search through more than 80,000 packages. In our case, the package we want to use is FFmpeg. You see the 57 different packages that work with FFmpeg. We want the official one. If you scroll downwards, you're going to see FFmpeg, and its homepage is the official FFmpeg page. Yeah, it took us where we were before. Alright, so let's log in. We have the login button at the top right. We're going to click on it. We can see we can log in with our email. We can use Google, GitHub, Facebook, or Apple. In my case, I'm going to use my Google account to log in. Now I'm logged in. So we're going to meet our Get Started tab. There's something about Ghostwriter chat with Pro plan. That's like GitHub Copilot. It's AI assistance when it comes to writing your code. We don't need that. What we're going to be focusing on is the sidebar here on the left. We've got our username with our profile, our account, and the option to log out. We've got create REPL. A REPL is like a screen of Visual Studio Code. It's where you write your actual code. We've got our home. We've got templates. Templates are the languages that Replit supports. There's so many. We're going to be using C. We have my REPLs. This is where all the code you've written is going to be stored for future reference. It's almost like GitHub. And then the bounties. If you're looking to earn cash, then there's so many things you could be doing. Yeah. So let's create a REPL. We're going to use a template. Remember, a template is the programming language you want to write in. In my case, I want to use C. I scroll downwards. I can also just type C, and it's going to find it for me. Let's call it FFmpeg trial. I'm the owner. If you have multiple accounts, you can change the owner. And remember, in Replit, all the code you write is public, unless you buy the paid version. Then everything you write is public. So let's create the REPL. So everything looks great when you run create REPL. Run the code, you get hello world. We see this is where we write our code in the main.c file. Then we have a console over here where our output is shown. We have a shell here where we can write commands. So let's see. GCC is what we need to compile. The name of the file, main.c. We're going to create an object file and we're going to call it main, like what it already calls it. And we're going to run the main file. We see hello world in both our shell and in our console. So the shell and the run command, they're almost the same. On the left tab, we have a file section. We have files, tools, CPU, RAM. We don't care much about CPU and tools. We're going to work a lot with the file section. We've got our main.c file. We've got main. This is going to look like gibberish because it's all like computer code. Then we've got our make file. Remember, make files help share instructions for compiling C code. So we've got our main and we've got all this stuff. Then here you can see hide hidden files, but you can show hidden files if you're not seeing this. We have adopt Replit file. This tells Replit how we want to compile our code. We know that we're compiling with make and our run, and our entry point is, our run is going to be ./main, this hidden file, and our entry point is main.c. It's a lot of stuff. And then we have replit.nix. Remember, Replit runs on a version of Linux called Nix, and Nix is great because it has a package manager. Package managers ensure people are using the correct version of a library. So in our case, we want to add FFmpeg to our Replit. So remember, when we searched in our Nix OS packages, we decided we are going to be using FFmpeg, the official version, and we are going to be using version 5.1.3. So let's add it to our Nix environment. So we see there's already a template when it comes to adding files. It's pkgs. So let's type it. And then if we follow the template, we see that we add the file name. In our case, the package we want to add is FFmpeg. So if you run, you're going to see loading Nix environment. And if you didn't see it, you can always just refresh the page. Yes, so you can always refresh the page. So one more thing before we see if our Nix environment works, we need to upload a video file. So we're going to have a new folder. Let's call it assets. And this is where we're going to load the video we'll be working on. So I'm going to go to where I have the file I want to include, and then I'm going to drag it, and then I'm going to drop it inside the assets folder. You see assets is highlighted and it's going to load. So we can see what we're going to be working with.
Learn how to make Instagram bots. You can automate logins, you can visit pages, you can scroll through lists. Learn how to make Instagram bots today.
So that's the video we're going to be working with, and now we can test that our FFmpeg environment is working. So we have FFmpeg and we want information. We want information on the file that's located inside the folder assets, and the file name is is murage.mp4. If we run this, get information about our video. So we see that our major brand is ISOM. We can see it uses the libav encoder, and again, it's 13 seconds. It's 12 seconds and 76 milliseconds. So we've tested that our FFmpeg installation is working in this video, and we've uploaded our assets.